Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at the... I don't know what this is called. Metagate, Terrorsaur, Metagate, something or other. Metagate Air Keen. So yeah, here he is out of his packaging. He didn't come with packaging, actually. I got it from a friend of mine. Shout out to Chris for hooking me up with this guy for a decent price. And before any of the other companies could get him in. So I'm going to get really frustrated at it. Because it's like, you know, everyone else has gotten their jazz and done reviews on them. I'm still waiting for BBTS to get their shipment in. Or if they did, they forgot me or something. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm just still sitting here waiting, and it's just kind of annoying. Like, what is going on? Like, just seriously. Anyway, so this is their Season 1 Beast Wars Terrorsaur figure. First thing I gotta say is I'm really, really glad I'm not doing transformations right now. Because this does not look like it would be fun. And the second thing that just like sticks out to me is, and Chris pointed this out too. So he's pretty right on the money. The scales, you know, for the beast mode parts have all this really nice metallic sheen. But the thing is that he didn't have it in the show, and other Beast Wars characters from Season 1 that we have don't have it, so it kind of is a little standoutish. We'll go over that when we get to the size comparisons. I also have a problem of him staying together. It's, yeah, one of those kind of deals. So yeah, I don't know if this company's done things before under different names, but it definitely seems like this is... It feels like a first attempt at a MP style figure, and definitely hopefully they make more and they can refine it a little bit and hammer some things out a little bit. Because it's close, but it's not perfect. Alright, so let's go over the accessories first. So first thing he comes with is this display stand, which is really cool, because if you remember from the Beast Wars cartoon, this is the little hoverboards that the Predacons had in their base that they would kind of scoot around on. And it comes with this little handle thing, and I think you can take it and you plug his hand in or on it or something like that. Is that how this works? I don't think this came with instructions either. Nope, it's not wanting to plug in there. So I don't know. Oh, maybe it plugs in here. Well, that's not fun. I mean, it works. You know. It works, but I kind of wish that it would have... Like, this would be here. You know? And then, like, it plugs into his hand. So it looks like he's flying it. So, yeah. It's a nice idea. Execution just isn't quite there. Alright. He then comes with these two shoulder cannons. So it's like a flat black with some silver paint on there with this base red plastic. Little tab there, and it plugs into his shoulders here and here. So you just plug those in. Just like that. And like that. because he had that in that one episode that one time, I believe. I don't think he really utilized them very often. I think it was just the powered up episode. And I believe you could take these and store them underneath. This. I think. I don't know. That's not important. He comes with 2 extra faces. These do store underneath. You could just plug them onto those little slots there, and they just plug in. Which brings me to the thing that actually I really don't like about this figure, and that is the face sculpt. So this is far from cartoon accurate, is my big problem. And I dropped one of the faces and I don't know where it went. It's typical John kind of problem, right? There it is. Alright. Let's see if I can show this off better. So, Chris pointed this out to me too. Like they should have painted this red metallic all the way into the face instead of making the face like go all the way to the edge. Like it should have gone on the end for the red. So that's 1. And 2, though, he didn't have a sunken in face like this. His face was more protruded. Like this was his chin, not was sunken in chin strap. Like it's just not. That's just not how his character design was. Let me see if I can find a picture. Not a great quality picture. But yeah, so here you can see like the it goes right to the chin strap. Like it's like a little bit sunken in, but like we're talking like he's wearing a tight helmet kind of deal, like any G1 style Transformer. You think about the cars and stuff like that. Here we go. There's a good picture of his face. So it's like, yeah, it's sunken in just a hair. Just a hair, not like this. I mean, this is just... maybe if I paint that red bit on the inside, maybe it'll look better. But I don't think I have the right red metallics. Anyway, so he does come with 3 faces. So he's got this like kind of stoic face. He's got a different stoic face, slightly smirky. And then he's got a smiling face. I just don't think the faces are sculpted very well. It's like any of the other issues I have with this figure are secondary to the face sculpt. It's just, it takes me kind of out of it. He does come with the little pistol. This is more reminiscent of the toy. And then that just plugs into his hand just like a normal MP. And then you can fold his fingers around it. Holds it just fine. Not perfect, but you can see it's kind of, his fingers are doing more than the tab. And he's got this more black rifle. And you just tab that in, fold the fingers around, and there you go. And again, it's not great, but it does it work-ish. Yeah, so that's it for his accessories. It's funny, it's like everything on here is like metallic and gloss and all this stuff, and his rifle's just bare plastic with a couple little dabs of red paint. Alright, so for posability wise, head is on a ball peg that's on the back here. You can see it's just this clear, or this whitish plastic that's a different material and color than everything around it. That's where, like, you know, stuff like this just screams amateur. So you get up to there, you can untab it to get further up. Get the left, the right. The head doesn't go all the way to the neck, so he's got this weird gap going on. Yeah. I'm trying to pull this camera up a little bit. There we go. Alright, then his shoulders have this butterfly joint kind of going here. These pieces do move on the back. They're on swivels, so you can kind of get them out of the way if you need to. Shoulder rotates all the way up to here. This piece is on its own hinge. It's actually on a ball joint, so it just kind of moves where you need it to, and then you can just, so like if you need it up here, you can do that. So that's a nice way to do it. Soft ratchet shoulders all the way around, no issues. Bicep swivel, double bend elbow, just hinges. Kind of feels like there should be a ball joint in there just to kind of give him a little bit more playability. But now I'm just nitpicking. Wrist is on a swivel. Thumb is on a hinge on the side here, which I don't know why you would do that. It just looks stupid. I hate it. It doesn't look good at all in any way, shape, or form. Basically, I'm just going to kind of leave it folded up like that. It just looks awful. Like, thumbs don't work that way. He's got double hinged fingers, so you got the first pin and then the second pin. But they're not very long, so they don't really do much. Again, this is a situation where I think it would have been beneficial if they would have done swappable hands. So you could have just had one that was holding the gun, and then you could have one that's posing, and then you can have a fist hand, something like that. I think that would have just been a better way to do it. Waist is on a swivel. And you can see, like, here's more of that white plastic that just has zero paint to it whatsoever. This untabs a lot, and there's kind of like an ab crunch in there, like a backwards one, but you kind of have to untab things in order to do it. So I don't know if that quite counts. Hips up to there. Looks like this folds it in, and you can get it further if you needed to. So I guess that works. Back to there. Ratchets out to the side. Let's see here. So that's straight up and down. You know, one of the things that people have with the ratchets issues is that, you know, the teeth aren't designed well. So let's see. One click. One click. I think that's a fairly decent A stance. No issue. So I like that. It feels like when he's standing. Like that, you know, they've got that stuff down. Knee also ratchets up to there, past 90 degrees. Looks good. Nothing else in the knee there. Looks, you know, that's more for transformation. Feet have just the tiniest little bit of a rocker in there. And then they've got a pretty decent tilt. But just... that rocker just is not all that great. But honestly, you know, if you're going any further than this A stance that I got him in now, I don't think he was one of those characters that you'd put him in dynamic poses, because he was never that much of a dynamic character. He was much more, he was a flyer. But yeah. So let's see here. So let's give him his gun again. See, one of the things that, having a thumb that's maybe hinges this way or has a ball peg, you can use that to help stabilize the gun. But this thumb just has nothing to do with it whatsoever. So you just kind of have to hold this together the best you can, and it just doesn't work very well. Alright, now for size comparison. First and foremost, here he is replacing my stand-in Terrorsaur from the oversized Kingdom KO. And he blows it out of the water with every exception except for the head. Just look-wise. Yeah, the metallic may not be right on the scales, but, it's better than this by far. But, see how they did the head? This is how it should be. So you got the face here, and you just got this little bit of a outside bit for the helmet that he's wearing. Just the tiniest bit. That's how it should be, not like that. Alright. And then I thought, I was thinking that this is the right size for him. But then I went back and watched some scenes with him in the cartoons, and he really is bigger than that. So he was, I think, almost primal size. Which, of course, primal's put away, so I don't have him handy at the moment. But here he is with Megatron. And here he is with Dinobot. And since Dinobot was a Predacon, I think this works pretty well. I really hope that they do Waspinator next, because I think that would be a good companion piece to this. Getting the two flyers out of the way. So let's talk about what I overall think about this figure. The first and foremost, this guy cleans up really well. I mean, look how minimal his backpack is. It's the dinosaur head, which is accurate to the show. It's like you're not going to get a cleaner version of it. I mean, even this KO one, he's got just everything on the back. It's just so they nailed that. I think he looks good. I know the metallic scales aren't quite right, but looking at it from afar here, I think it looks good. I think it looks good with the Megatron and the Dinobot. I think they look good together. Maybe I'm just a little biased because I finally have a Terrorsaur to put on my shelf. That's not, Happy Meal red color. I think he looks good. I really do. I think the head sculpt is the biggest problem. I'm going to try and paint that face. I'm going to try and paint that face, the chin straps and stuff, just to see if that helps out a little bit. Sorry, Ty's getting a drink of water. So I'm going to try and paint that, see if that helps him a little bit, but that's my biggest problem is the head sculpt. I also think like the like that white plastic that's the joint that's holding the head on. I think that's pretty amateurish. Certain things not staying tabbed in very well. Those are things I can live with. The way the thumb works, the way the guns plug in, all of that, all of those things could be done better. But on the plus side of things, the hardware is it's all good. He's got tight joints. They tab in together, they have tight joints. They hold the place. There's not a lot of wiggle going on in here. Overall it's a good looking Terrorsaur. So for a score, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, much like the Rat Trap. Now, the Rat Trap, I would say, is a better looking figure by far. But the thing is like, we've seen better from that company, the Transart. Whereas this feels like the first attempt. And as a first attempt, I think they did a pretty good job. I think they could do better. I think they could easily do better with this guy. There's room for improvement. There's definitely room for improvement with this guy, or with this company, but I will be eager to see what they come out with next, and I really do hope that it's a Terrorsaur or a Waspinator and not a Maximal. We don't need any more Maximals at the moment. Let's just skip the Maximals for a bit. Let's work on getting some more Predacons on the shelf, because everybody's doing Maximals. I mean, next Transart figure is going to be Black Arachnia from Season 3, and I think Depth Charge was teased, and it's like, come on, I need Tarantulas, I need Rampage, I need those guys. Anyway, I recommend him. Again, if you're a Beast Wars fan, I recommend him. But if you're not, I don't. Just know he's not. He'll be a better piece than that KO Terrorsaur that we got. But I do think, like I said, I think that there's room for improvement from this company, and I'm eager to see what they come up with next.